As many of you know, that I am a mental health counselor in the state of North Carolina, and I wanted to kind of talk about, getting out there, being active, and what that does, and how that maybe it might affect you, and how it affects me. And so I thought, just sit down and talk about these things. I've done some studies and some deep dives into peer-reviewed articles about mental health and moving. Especially, there's quite a bit about high-intensity training or even running itself. And I guess spoiler alert: if you don't want to go to the end of the video, I'm not going to make you go to the end of the video, but it's good for you, and it changes the way we think, and it helps our cognitive processes, and it lowers the cortisol levels of our body. It realigns maybe some of the HPA axes that kind of get us into maybe stuck with high intensity or high levels of stressors, anxieties, depression, those type of things. And so I'd like just to do a deep dive or just a shallow dive into this just a little bit more, because these are my experiences as well. Yesterday was a really difficult day for me. I had a lot going at me, that were just causing some stressors. Probably no different than anybody else in the United States or even maybe the worldwide. Financial issues, those type of things, and just they kind of gnaw at you, and they kind of sit right here, or maybe they sit right here in our chest, and it just kind of doesn't feel good. Maybe it upsets our belly and those type of things. And so I really wanted to show you my experiences. So that was really building up throughout the morning time, and I just didn't feel motivated to do some things I typically like to do, going shopping with my wife, just going out, and even drinking some coffee. It just, things were not sitting very well. So I got home and was able to do a few things around the house, and then I just went for a run, and it was a nice, easy zone 2. Now for me, zone 2 is where I usually could talk fairly well during a zone 2. I'm not panting so much that I'm just or breathing so hard that I can't talk, or I'm searching for oxygen in different ways. And so zone 2 for me is usually somewhat conversational. Sometimes I can get into the higher levels where I might have to take a couple breaths and then getting back into the conversations again. And so I was in that zone 2 run for about 8 miles, and I came back, and the things that were kind of circling around the drain, the things that were kind of replaying in my mind, weren't doing that anymore. I noticed the things that were weighing on my chest had been gone. The things that were in the shoulders, it was more relaxed. I was able to engage in the things I like to engage in, and be able to do some other things. And excuse me, I got a stink bug here, and so I was able to do other things. And it was no surprise to me. I've been running fairly regularly. I was going to say off and on, but fairly regularly for about 3 years now. It may be just a smidge longer than that, but it's allowed for me to hold down 2 jobs. It's allowed for me to help take care of aging parents. It's allowed for me to help with some other stressors with my children, that kind of go along with parenting. And so, I've been able to do all those things and do it fairly well without it upsetting, too many issues like building up blood pressure or having high blood pressure or some other type of reaction from my body itself. And so it wasn't a surprise. It's backed up by data as well. Now, let's just think about this for just a moment. We know how running changes us, our bodies, in a physiological way. If you just Google that on your search engine, I guess I say Google, so it might as well be Google itself. But if you just Google it, if you just do a search engine on it, you're going to find out that it changes your body by, providing, health, heart benefits. Our hearts maybe be able to beat a little bit more regular if we're consistent with our running. Okay, well then also we understand that maybe even even our lungs, they process oxygen better. We know that for our bellies or for our whole other part of our disposition, that we start to lose weight. Well, we also start to gain some muscle mass, maybe some muscles in your legs. Now, some other people might think, well, I lose muscle in other parts. Well, you might if you're not working out those parts on a regular basis. And so, but your legs are going to get stronger. There's other indicators that our bones themselves, like our muscle, our leg bones, they get more dense, and they're able to withstand more of the ligaments, or get more pliable most times, as long as we're not straining things too much. And so it's just an interesting thing, because it's like this almost like a chain of events, or just a chain reaction of how it changes our bodies. I guess it shouldn't be any doubt that it changes our minds as well. And that is really what many articles are really pointing to, how our abilities to have better cognitive processes, where we're able better to stay in those windows of tolerance. Basically, I don't get too far down, and I don't get too far amped up. And so, yes, so that it helps kind of allow for us to be more, the term sometimes is resilient, that we kind of be more pliable, flexible, in a mental health setting. When I work with clients, I like to try to get rid of rigid thinking, black and white thinking, or this or that thinking, and kind of put us into, there are many different choices out there, and so we can utilize those choices. And so that kind of puts us in a better frame of mind, so that we're more adaptable to whatever situation. Again, that cognitive processes are able to be absorbed better. Then we also understand that the cortisol levels go down. Sometimes if there's maladjustment in our neurochemistry, it starts to bring us into a better relationship there. So the cortisol goes down, but maybe we're feeling better. Those feel-good parts of hormones, or the chemicals, start to affect us a little bit more. So we readjust that way as well. It's almost as if our bodies are meant to move, and move well, and move efficiently, and that most times, if we're allowed to physically and every other aspect wise to get out there and maybe do some running or do some other type of exercise, it will help maybe change our lives. So I want to motivate you to get out there and continue to do. Notice the changes that are happening in your body, but notice also the changes that are happening in your mind. I wonder, and I'd like for you to comment below, if you notice those things. Let me know what you're experiencing. Let me know how these things might help. I don't want to get too far into this video and too long into this video, because they become boring. That's not what this is about. Not sitting here watching another video, but getting out there and doing things. And I hope As always, motivators, that these videos are there to motivate you. If it's just one out of a million, that's great. If we continue to progress and to get more on this channel, fantastic. And as always, if you can like and subscribe to what you see here, let other people know what you're seeing here. I'm really trying to put as much content out there as possible in different ways. So let me know if you're looking for something in particular. My wife has suggested that I give the audiences or give others a snapshot of what my shoes look like, because I do pick my shoes very meticulously, and I like certain types and certain brands, and I love to be able to share those things with you. So if that's something you would enjoy as well, just let me know. I'm here to hopefully motivate you to get out there.